Welcome back, my dark means, to the dark void ruled by me, 951. And today we're back to another random reactions. And today we're watching Idiocracy's Becoming Real. And this is by Upper Echelon. I was looking for a video for another random reaction. I just happened to see this, and you know what? Let's do this. I literally had nothing. It's random reactions. Yeah, it's random. Basically, I find something and I like it, and I didn't have anything this week, so I decided to do it, and I randomly stumbled on this. So yeah, we're watching this, and this is basically Idiocracy Become Real. Just to let you know, Idiocracy. I have heard of it. I never watched it, but I have heard of it. So we're going to be watching this. We're going to see what's going on. We're going to see what's happening. We're going to be watching whatever happened here. Just to let you know, this is just for fun. We're reacting to this for fun, all right? But also, I watched a little bit of this, and oh my god, my brain literally freaking, and I started laughing to myself. There may be pauses in here. There may be pauses. This is probably gonna be a long video. I may not be able to do a video reaction because of how long this is probably gonna be. But yeah, we're gonna do this. So get ready. Also, I will leave the link down below for you guys to watch it for yourselves without my beautiful voice. So yeah, let's get here. Let's go and let's see Idiocracy is becoming real. Okay, so let's begin. Take it away, Upper
This
Echelon.
video is brought to you by Ground News. Stick around to hear more about the special offer they're providing to the entire Upper Echelon community.
Sup?
Okay. How many people watching this have seen or ever heard of a 2006 movie
I heard
Idiocracy?
I heard of it on Facebook.
There's a pretty decent number
recently.
of people who have, at least nowadays. But
Yeah.
you might be surprised
I
to
heard
learn
of
that
it.
the movie's
Here
eventual
and there.
popularity was actually never intended from the start.
Okay.
For those of you who have seen it, you can probably skip ahead a
2006?
few minutes right now because you already know the plot, obviously.
I don't really know
If you
anything.
haven't seen the film before, it's effectively a scathing critique of American corporatism. The main character, Joe Bowers, and a lady of the night, if you will, named Rita, become the subjects of an army experiment, cryogenic freezing in this case, but instead of 1 year, they get frozen for hundreds. After finally waking up in 2505, I think it is, they re-enter the modern world and they find out that everyone around them is basically brain dead. Basic infrastructure is now falling apart. Everyone drinks Brondo instead of water, which is like a play on Gatorade. The film is basically a never-ending string of jokes about how everyone has become an idiot, which leaves the two main characters, who are decidedly average back in the time that they come from, as the most intelligent people on all of planet Earth.
Genius.
Simply because of basic
Now,
logic.
first of all, I'm going to tell you this right now. This one is the part where I saw it, and I saw this, and I was laughing my butt off. And St. God's Memorial Hospital. I'm going to tell you this right now. I did this when I was back in school. When I was younger, before I learned that you need to put a line here and then you put it right here, which for some reason still doesn't make sense to me. I don't know why, but this one, I don't know why this makes more sense to me. Literally, but when I saw this, it made me laugh my butt off. Because literally, this is before the line. Like, oh, we put the line here and then you go over here. This is what I did every dang time. Like, but I would do it this way, or I will go upwards, and yeah. It's just, oh my god, it's so hilarious how I did that. I think I actually went back on that again when I was in middle school by accident. And I intentionally did that. I mean, my brain literally turned off that day. I don't know what, but this made me laugh. So we're going to, yeah.
Mental aptitude and deductive reasoning. It's honestly prophetic, in a sense, when it comes to the concept of corporate advertising, at least.
Check in.
Buy everything that they want from a city-sized Costco facility.
Sweet.
Where they're greeted by someone who says, "Welcome to Costco. I love you." They're treated in the hospital by plugging little sensors into their mouth and their ass and their ear as well. With a drooling human operator who doesn't even really know what's happening, as the machine spits out a diagnosis for them. And all over the place, everywhere, you see a kind of logical in the world of attention advertising, which now caters to people who are barely even smart enough to communicate with each other.
So my brain just turned off a
moment. Sort of broken slang. The most popular show on all the television is a program called Ow My Balls. And the movie even tackles the concept of hypersexualization, where Starbucks now offers hand jobs. Obviously, it's way over the top extreme, but when you watch it, you start seeing a whole bunch of oddly similar and kind of uncomfortable parallels, which might be the reason why the film was initially suppressed. Most people don't know this, but the movie's publisher, 20th Century Fox, actually tried to kill their own product launch.
Well, it didn't work.
In 7 different cities. Using
like I said, this is just for fun. I'm reacting to this for fun. I had nothing else to watch.
As opposed to the normal 6 or 7.
This is just last minute.
And they specifically did not market the release with trailers, advertisements, or press.
Yeah, some up people found out about it, huh?
They intentionally took a budgetary loss on their film in order to kill its reach.
Dang.
Over the years since, it managed to become massively popular.
Nice.
Now, I'm not a film critic. This isn't a video about Idiocracy as
I'm just watching this for fun.
It's about how the most extreme version of hyperbolic comedy, portraying the whole world as a slobbering mass of idiotic consumers, is becoming real.
Yeah, dude, my brain just turned off for a moment, though.
Right now about why and specifically how that appears to be happening. However,
just look around
key difference here. In the movie, the degradation of a human intelligence and basic cognition for that matter is a function of birth rates. As the more affluent portions of society struggle with choices about when or why or even if they ever want to have a child, those around them, the idiots, are breeding like rabbits. The film asserts that over hundreds of years, less intelligent people having much more offspring, it's a kind of twisted evolutionary inversion, overwhelms the entire population, therefore dumbing everyone down to a level where they can't even hardly think for themselves. As a commentary on predatory capitalism, in addition to that, large corporations happily step in to monetize that issue, creating a sort of death spiral of sorts, resulting in people getting dumber and dumber and dumber with each passing generation, because none of them are ever forced to think for themselves.
Yeah.
It's a fun movie. I do like it, which, again, has extremely uncomfortable parallels. But setting aside,
like I said, I'm just watching this for fun.
Like teenagers speaking with broken, grammatically absurd slang, or advertising as a concept invading deeper and deeper into our everyday lives.
Oh yeah,
I want to make the argument that the cause of those issues is not a function of birth rates or genetics. It's a function of the tools that we're making, which supplant our own critical thinking.
Got it.
Let's get to it.
Okay,
I want to take a minute here and go on a bit of a tangent, I guess, because lately it feels like there's an overwhelming trend where the quality of what I call...
Yeah, if you guys are interested, here it is for you guys.
Downhill.
Me, I'm just watching this for fun.
People get their information from...
If you want to skip this, you can skip this. I'm just watching for fun.
Breaking in all caps, because it's just farming, let's be real. But it's also because media standards in general have gone wildly...
How long is this?
As a solution to that, I deliberately work with a platform called Ground News, which is...
Okay, like I said, I'm going to keep this in, and you can skip if you want.
I'm just watching this for fun for me. Numerous sources into a central feed,
just for fun.
Using that feed to benchmark the sensationalized claims that you see.
Like I said, this is all for fun. I'm just watching for fun.
Quadrants is a process that, in my opinion at least...
And like I said, this is all just last minute.
...well if more people used it. Ground News is best...
Man, why is it getting hot in this room?
Gathers up all sorts of mainstream and independent
still snowing
sources,
right now, but no,
puts them in a single feed and provides as much information as possible to readers,
well, my heater's
while also giving bias ratings and clarifying corporate ownership. I've done a whole deep dive on their methodology, by the way, and I like what I found, hence why I continue working with them on a regular basis. Having a top-down view of news stories from all over the political and geographic spectrum,
like I said,
is much more valuable.
You can skip this if you want.
On any one
I'm just watching this for people who want to watch this kind of stuff, right?
Financially motivated as well. A tool that manages to pull things together and expose readers to content they otherwise would never see, even if they choose not to believe it or pursue it, which is their prerogative, has no possible downside that I can think of. There's a bunch of other tools available on the website as well, like blind spot coverage or personal bias checkers, but for whatever reason you decide, if you click the link down below in the description, or scan the QR code.
Sorry, I just yawned there for a moment. But like I said,
the Vantage plan today.
Like I said,
again, link down below. Ground.
We're just watching this for fun.
/Echelon for 40% off a Vantage plan today. Big thank you to Ground News for sponsoring the channel. Okay, let me start with
a
small example
if you skipped over here,
and then we work our way up the ladder.
Yo, what's up?
Spell checkers. Spell checkers are ubiquitous now. Everyone has them at practically every single level of education and work because they're embedded directly into our devices, which means at a certain level, after a child has learned basic grammar and spelling techniques in school, they'll begin using spell checking software nearly 100% of the time in their day-to-day lives. No big deal, right?
Yeah, no big deal.
Software helps us.
But seriously,
it doesn't just help us, it also...
I actually leave some words out sometimes.
According to the International Journal of Social Sciences and Educational Studies regarding EFL students, which is English as a Foreign Language, quote, with the advent of technology, writing devices are now equipped with auto-correction features that automatically corrects or generates a list of potential words to the author. This has made the task apparently easier. However, based on the cognitive load theory, when there is not enough effort and time given to complete a learning task, the chances to learn effectively reduce. End quote.
Well, that's what happens. If you don't learn,
having taken
your brain
the
starts becoming
reasons and challenges into account,
mush.
The primary aim of the present research is to investigate the effects of autocorrection features on spelling competence among EFL learners. End quote. This may seem like nothing, I get it, but if you go
what's
all
up?
the way down to the results on page 108...
Man, how many pages are here?
Quote, the control group, participants who hand-wrote writing tasks and assignments, performed enormously better at reducing the number of misspellings
because they're learning
in their tasks in comparison to the experimental group who typed written tasks.
Well, no, because they're learning and able to, like,
conclusions, obviously,
able to see what it is.
Who are deeply immersed in using programs with auto spell checker features don't hone spelling competence as
I don't even use spell checks.
Due to the fact that
I only do it if it tells me it's there.
In handwriting that makes the learning more sustained. End quote. Of course, that
hey,
is
even typing on Twitter is a pain.
It does very clearly seem.
Well, not really.
That handwriting and putting in more effort will make
how many of you can
learning
say
better
books
and typing with a spell checker
every once in a while
when it comes to English as a
you tell me
language. But it is echoed elsewhere, right? The general premise from University Technology Mara, a study called "The Influence of Spell Checkers on Students' Ability to Generate Repairs of Spelling Errors."
Okay.
Conclusion paragraph, page 10.
Okay.
This research suggested that spell checkers have little to no effect whatsoever on students' spelling errors on the cognitive level. It did not help repair errors, and the corrections are not internalized, thus allowing learners to repeat the same.
So wait, the spell check just
like
keeps
I said,
the same
we're
thing?
Starting small, but the idea of ubiquitous spell checking software seems to indicate a stagnation of people's ability to actually improve their own spelling, which lets them repeatedly make similar and even identical errors.
It's true.
Without learning what is actually correct.
If you don't see the wrongness,
that's not the most harmful side effect in the world.
Like if you start writing something, you don't see the wrong thing happening
let's
there.
go one stone up, or step rather, but I'll make a comparison to a stone archway later on.
What's up?
And let's look at something else. Habitual use of GPS negatively impacts spatial memory during self-guided navigation.
Okay.
This study from the Integrated Neuroscience Program at McGill University.
So much where his brain hurt.
Was designed to examine the effects of GPS reliance among everyone.
And I know I'm stupid.
And without spending too much time here boring everyone to death, determined, quote,
God damn.
findings suggest that regularly using GPS affects spatial memory in a dose-dependent manner. That is, the greater use of GPS, the greater decline in spatial memory over time. The lack of a concurrent decline in subjective sense of direction
brain hurt.
that this relationship is likely to be causal. To be clear, I'm not making the argument that these tools should be abolished, or even that the possible risks outweigh the benefits.
Just needs to
GPS or maybe spell
sparingly. How about that?
But if you took a 21-year-old today,
try to spell that one.
Most of them, not all, but most, took away their access to GPS on their phone or car intrinsically, and told them, go on a road trip across the state now.
Oh my god.
Most of them probably couldn't even do it.
I can't do that.
If they could, it would take them an exorbitant
unless I have landmarks
time, because they haven't properly developed the skill set of reading road signs or navigating a physical map.
Dude, that's like hard enough as it is.
Abundantly clear. That's
I use landmarks.
In the world. Lacking a skill set because you never needed to develop that skill set in the first place.
First of all, those maps are already hard enough as it is. Just looking at that, you can tell that's hard enough. I'm gonna tell you this now. Just give me landmarks. Just tell me what the landmarks is, and I'll know exactly where it is. I do not need a map to know where I'm going, unless I'm in the wild. Then, all right. Then I lost in wild. Then, okay. But if you're telling me to go somewhere, just tell me where the landmarks is. Just do that. I don't even know the directions of where the south, east, west, north, whatever. South, west, east, north, or whatever direction you see the signs of. I still don't know. Just tell me the landmarks, and then we're good. Just go tell me the landmarks, and just, oh yeah, it's this general area? Okay, I know exactly what it is, and I know it. That's as far as I could do it. In a map? Yeah, no. My brain's already fried enough as it is. Who's with me?
Intrinsically bad.
Who's landmark
Especially
people?
If you can then figure out how to do something when it matters for yourself.
Like being lost in the wild.
One step further now, because
my brain.
Even our ability to think critically and solve problems is now under siege, thanks to the advent of generative tools. Picture a Roman archway. Stones on top of stones. But it never stands free or supports any weight at all without something called a keystone. The keystone is the pinnacle of that archway. It often has a slightly different shape, or it's measurably larger, while dispersing the most weight in the process, therefore supporting the entire archway as
it's
a
the
whole.
one that gathered.
Critical thinking is the keystone of human cognition. Spell checkers and GPS programs, they're just stones, one of many in the archway. But generative tools,
brain is starting to hurt now.
New data from
my eyes
directly at Microsoft, if used improperly, can, quote, result in the deterioration of cognitive faculties that ought to be
preserved. I think we should do this sparingly.
Noted, a key irony of automation is that by mechanizing routine tasks and leaving exception handling to the human user, you deprive the user of the routine opportunities to practice their judgment and strengthen their cognitive musculature, leaving them atrophied and unprepared when the exceptions do arise.
Oh, my brain gets smaller? Is that what's up?
I do have to read a few more segments, not just one.
Oh, my eyes.
Honestly.
So my brain gets smaller if I don't use it?
Quote,
well, I play strategy games. Does that count to help my brain?
The desire to enhance work quality, avoid negative outcomes, and develop skills. However, several barriers inhibit this reflective process, including lack of awareness, limited motivation due to time pressure or job scope, and difficulty improving AI responses in unfamiliar domains. Surprisingly, while AI can improve efficiency, it may also reduce critical engagement, particularly in routine or lower stakes tasks in which users simply rely on AI, raising concerns
about like freaking moving my, just trying to wipe my butt. Is that what it is?
End quote.
It'll happen sooner or later.
Continuing that same sort of logical pathway here.
Oh, my brain is starting to hurt again.
Reliance on computing technology
thinking hurts me.
A novel phenomenon. However,
brain don't think good.
Can exacerbate the associated risks. Indeed, such reliance may be tolerable for low-stakes tasks like grammar checking, but it can lead to significant negative outcomes in high-stakes contexts like drafting legal documents.
Ah, yes.
And then lastly,
that's actually very
thank
important.
you for sticking with me through all of this.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm here, man.
Paragraph, quote,
this is interesting to me.
AI can improve work efficiency, it can inhibit critical engagement with work, and can potentially lead to long-term over-reliance on the tool and diminished skill for independent problem-solving.
Okay.
End quote.
True.
It's a lot to get through, I know, and some people may laugh it off as overly dramatized, but the keystone, the one supporting all...
I also have to add this, the fact that how you cannot be, like, there's the problem with this as well, is that nowadays companies, like any company, expects you to be absolutely perfect in your job. I'm not joking. Literally, trust me. If you're not perfect at your job... Like, literally, and my mom, Mama Knight literally tells me that there's no such thing as perfect in the world, no matter what. Everyone has their own thing, but I told her that it doesn't matter. If you're in work, you have to be perfect. If you're not perfect at your job, you're basically, you're not doing the right job. I mean, literally, I told her that, and she says, oh yeah. But I said, are you serious? What the heck is wrong with these people? And she said, and she's from the but she is from the older generation. You gotta realize that she's from that generation where basically everything made sense. She still lives in that generation, but even still, I do agree on the fact that nothing is perfect. It's just unfortunate that jobs nowadays literally require you to be absolutely perfect. Now, I do understand that you need to be perfect at certain points, like for example, the legal documents. Like, those have to be absolutely airtight because any mistake can be used against you. Like, you could be saying, like, oh, this kind of thing here, but then the enemy lawyer sees the loophole in there, and then, oh, well, here it is, you forgot that thing, and then here it is, and they do a counter argument. You gotta make sure everything's right. Like, depending on where it is, certain areas should be, absolutely perfect. I have to agree on that. But that should not be for all jobs. I mean, people make mistakes, and using something like this to make it so it's absolutely perfect will absolutely make it worse, because sooner or later... it will probably be like let's see, bad, because like I said, eventually people are going to start getting like dumber thanks to this, and then eventually it's going to get to the point where we rely on this so much that nobody can tell the difference whether or not that's actually perfect or not perfect, and eventually they'll just it doesn't matter. Like, it gets to the point where what's the difference between perfect and imperfect? I mean, and I mean, imagine that. I mean, literally, like, I may be entirely wrong, but trust me, if you have a job that wants you to make sure that you're doing everything right, trust me, they're expecting you to make sure that you're doing everything perfect. I should know. I worked in fast food, and if you're not doing absolutely great at your job, and when I say that you need to make sure everything's on key, you gotta get food out the window, you gotta get food out the front, you gotta get everything out there. It doesn't matter. But where I worked, basically, we only had like 3 or 4 people, one in each area, and oh my god, it was horrible. I think one time we only had 3 because somebody basically quit on us, and we had to deal with that all by ourselves. And basically, the shift manager literally closed down the drive-thru. Didn't get confirmation from higher ups because I'm not about to deal with all this. And I'm glad for that. I'm glad for that because for some reason, I'm not gonna say the name of the fast food restaurant. Not yet. One day I'll say it. One day. But yeah, but oh my god, was it a pain in the butt? Literally, for my area, and we were an old store, so if you think on that, we haven't even got any upgrades on that one. Seriously, it's been literally. When I started there, literally the only upgrades we got are the headsets and the soda machine. Also, we got a new freezer. Well, fryer freezer for the fries and everything else. That's about it. Yeah, and a new sink head to spray our dishes. That's basically about it. But back on the topic, like we would like in my job, I literally need to be prepared because and plus, what's effed up is there's no mistakes. You cannot make any mistakes. So if you delete items, it's counted as you're gonna be talked down by your high eyes. Hey, you're deleting a lot of items. Why are you doing this? Why are you deleting all these items? I mean, dude, come on. If I make mistakes, do you have a rush? I'm the only one person there. Expect me, and you can't even delete it. I mean, we used to delete our items, but then they switched to, you can't delete. You need to have a manager to delete it for you. What? Dude, there is like so much stuff that gets against they want to be efficient, but they make it so that it's so inefficient at the same time that you either have to be, that you are basically pushed to be in perfect mode because you have no choice. I'm not joking. And that's just a side note. And think about this: if you're if you use AI to autocorrect everything, how long before basically the mental states of the jobs you have say that, look at this, look how perfect this is. We need this to have perfect things, and you're basically expected to be that perfect. Like literally everything has to be perfect. Now, like I said, imperfections are in reality, but unfortunately nowadays it seems that we as a society has forgotten that imperfections exist, and if you make something wrong, they just say that, you need to be better, you need to do stuff better, you can't be like this, we need to make sure everything's running smoothly. The problem is, it's called being a human being. If I make a mistake, so be it. Sorry I ran on a tangent, but you gotta remember, at this point in time, we're getting very dangerously close. I mean, we're already there, but we're getting dangerously close to the point where you can't even make a mistake without getting in trouble for it. Like I said, I used to be able to delete mistakes on orders, like, oh man, or just check on what's the orders of what I do. Now I can't do that without a manager. And once we did it before, they would literally say, hey, you're making a lot of deletions. What's going on? What's happening? I was like, no, I'm just making mistakes. Okay, well, we can't make that many mistakes. You can't do that because it's already tracked. Who cares if it's tracked? I'm thinking just. Who cares? It's not dealing with finances. Who cares with the finances? It's not helping the finances, is it? Man, who cares if I'm deleting the stuff? It does not matter. But like I said, I don't know why, but like I said, when I was working, literally, you have to do everything. You can't do everything. Right, everything has to be running smoothly, and if anything's falling behind, they'll freaking just say, okay, well, right now you should have everything ready, you should have everything done, drive-thru needs to be heading it right out the door, which, right out the window, you need to have at least 10 to 5 seconds short. I'm not joking. Literally, you're expected. One time somebody got to 15 seconds, and they say, okay, well, we need to go faster. How much faster do you want? But are you serious? We're not machines. We're human freaking beings. Damn. Oh my god, dang. What the heck is happening? That's how far we're going into perfection mode. If you're having a job that wants you to be absolutely perfect, that is just a bad way to have a job. You make mistakes. Dude, come on. Sorry I went on that tangent, but I just had to put my 2 cents here that this kind of thing is expecting perfection. This kind of thing is leading to a very dark future. It's not bad in the short run. If you do it sparingly, it's not bad. But right now, this kind of thing could be potentially. Oh wait, this AI thing, whatever. This could be potentially heading into the future where, what happens to Idiocracy? We're all dumb, and you're expected to be perfect at your job. That's what I'm thinking right now. But that's just me. That's when I was working in a restaurant. Back on topic. Now let's continue on. Sorry, I broke on a tangent.
Extra weight. is the thing that supplants our own thinking.
Yo.
And that is precisely what these new AI tools are designed
Yeah,
to
they're
do.
replacing our brains.
If you don't believe me, which is fine, by the way, what about this? I've used this example before in other videos, but I think I should probably show it again here because the implications behind it are pretty severe. Google, which obviously has their own AI model called Gemini, recently began heavily marketing that program to a much wider audience using material like this. It's a pretty harmless video at first, but towards the end you start to see something a little bit different than generally a funny image of a cat playing guitar, because they start advertising the service for things like generating emails. Cool, no big deal, you might say. Small stone in the massive archway.
I'll write my own email, thank you.
They cut to a scene where a teenage girl is asking this program, right in front of her friends, what's a good excuse to cancel dinner with my friends? You can certainly shrug it off as a goofy advertisement, but what happens when you actively market a product to teenagers, showcasing it as some sort of solution to feeling awkward?
Any kids under the age of... Any kids under the age of 18 should not be on social media. Wait.
Ask the AI
like, seriously.
What to say to your friends.
Under the age of 18, I don't know. What's been arguments of what age kids should not have phones? Like, should not be on social media? Elementary school. There we go. I think middle school. Somebody let me know. I know elementary is the line. I don't know why, but trust me, I've been seeing when I was like in middle school. I started seeing elementary school kids with freaking phones. Like, it was insane. I mean, I need to say this now. Any kids that's in elementary school should not be in, and younger should not be on social media. They should like be focused on their schoolwork. Schoolwork. If it works, and schoolwork, and also things to learn in life, like education in life. Not learning it from the internet, at least not until, like, I don't know what age. What's the argument for age that she should be on the social media? Is high school? I till the high school it is, I guess. Middle school, you tell me. High school is when I think they should start, because at that point, high school lets you run around in the lunchroom, lets you walk around, because in middle school and below, you have to go to classes. They don't let you move around. There's like no area for you to go. There's like recess and everything, and that's the only place where you have fun. But there's no like social thing happening. Well, in high school, you have social stuff. You go around, you talk to people, and at that point, there's even a big area for you to go to. So I think high school is where you should like introduce kids, teenagers to that. Now that's just me saying. And then because at that point, they're all discussing, they're all talking, they're all happy, and then, and they could be on their phones for a bit. Or maybe we should just not bother and just wait for them to just talk during high school, and then have them get on the internet, like at 8. Like, once they graduate or leave or drop out, then they can go on the internet. I don't know. You let me know in the comments. Right now, teenagers are, like, going out of... It's just teenagers are, like... Right now, I can't understand Jack with them. And right now, kids are being dumber and dumber by the day. I mean, even dumber than me, and that is a low bar.
Instead of actually talking
to
their friends. Social aptitude is a skill set.
Exactly.
Using this kind of tool to replace that, which was already replaced once by texting, as opposed to actually speaking to people, is one step further removed from using the muscle itself, which leads inexorably to atrophy. We're not just hindering the act of critical thinking. We're outright...
I don't play video games. Maybe that'll help.
Which may not be quite as comedic when compared to a movie like Idiocracy, but the end result, beyond the jokes, the humor, and the absurd over-exaggerations, the end result is a society that can't think for itself, therefore spiraling downwards.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny because people hand-wave all of this often as nothing. They say technology makes us smarter, but it's harder and harder for me to see it that way.
No, it doesn't.
I want a much smaller but far more damning example of this in action.
I'm going to tell you this. Technology does not make you smarter if you don't know how to use it. First of all, if you're just putting it out there, like, for example, when they say smarter, that was used to be what it was until you realize that most of our stuff is being taken over. Like, you text is now basically AI. Is like you let the thing text for you. Like, first of all, I'm going to tell you this. When you're writing a message, I think when you're trying to autocorrect, like if it starts giving you, oh, well, this is the wrong word here, or this is the wrong... I think that's all right, because that's sparingly. But when you start autocorrecting an entire sentence, that's another thing entirely. It should be only left to basically autocorrecting the words, and to letting you know that this is not the right word for this pronunciation, and that's it. Anything above that, you're basically making your brain... You might as well put your brain in a jar and then just go on autopilot. Like, that's what I think. Because at that point, now, technology, I do see the benefits of technology for the future. I do see benefits. But I think we need to focus on trying to, like, you know, make our lives easier without, but not too easy for where we make it so it's pain in the butt, but easy enough so where we're not, like, we're, like, freaking going on the ground and just falling on the ground sleeping. Like, make life easier for us. Like, using, like, not make, like, and now auto-correcting too much. But we should make it so, like, oh yeah, I go to work, I come in, I get help, I get help, it's everything slow. Okay, here it is. This is the order. All right, is this correct in the order? Good. Move it out, and then we're done. That's just, there you go. I think that's basically useful. That's my thinking in AI, in basic AI thing, in the restaurant business. Okay, here it is. Is this the correct order? Is this what he asked for? Good. All right, we move it out, and that's it. There you go. Done. You don't need it, because if these jobs want you to be perfect, you might as well just freaking just put that right there. But that's just me. And after that, real life, everything else, that's where you have to do. Basic work is where the stuff is easy. That's where we need to put that stuff. Make life easy in the workforce. That's what I think. Everything else after work, that's where you need to use your brain. That's what I think. That's what I think. I'm just saying, because literally, because at work, it's getting way too hard to freaking do stuff. Sorry on that tangent. But yeah, when you rely too much on and you're not using your brain, like, it's when one of my teachers used to say that if you do not use your brain is literally, your brain cells are dying. One of my teachers seriously said this, that, hey, if you don't use your brain cells are dying, because there's nothing for them to do. There's, like, no reason for them to freaking do anything. It's like your it's like your muscles. You don't use them, they'll just start, atrophying. That's what happens with your brain. If your brain is not learning, if you're not giving your brain, like, sufficient memory space, sufficient RAM, or sufficient stuff, or learning more stuff, or at least, heck, playing video games can help you with that, because you literally have to focus on that, and your brain's like, oh my god, what's this? So it literally helps your brain. Literally, it's bad. Like, I think we should keep autocorrecting as it is. Do not, like, go beyond the autocorrecting. There's a line here. We're already at the autocorrecting. I just explained it. We need to keep everything after that. We should just leave it alone. Just make life easy for the work. Please. Moving on.
Considering the warning that Microsoft researchers themselves gave in that document, right, regarding legal documents in particular. There was a case against Walmart initiated in 2023 and still making its way through the court system, where the legal representation for the plaintiff used 8 different case law examples that don't exist because an AI hallucinated them.
What?
In a statement provided to the court directly...
Is this really still in the court system? How that... This is what's happening. This is what I think, like I said, we should keep autocorrecting by itself. Use your brains here. Like, use your brains. I know I might be contradicting myself, but use your brains here. This is the point where you need to be perfection. This is the type of thing you need to be perfect at. Now, like I said, imperfection exists, but there's some places that you need to be absolutely perfect. Like I said, like, if you're, as a lawyer, you need to make sure your things are perfect, because one simple misstep could lead to the opposing team to win the match. Or in other words, an AI decides, you know what? This doesn't sound good. This person's going to lose, so I'm going to make sure I do whatever it takes for him to win. So I'm going to make up stuff just so that way it looks like there is actually evidence. I mean, think about it. AI would just think it doesn't have the capability to learn that to do realistically. And think about it. If you rely on AI to give you, like, like, something like this, it like what it said, it just made up some things. And I don't know if this is opposing or winning. Wait, plaintiff? I don't know what side he is on. But if you think about it, the AI would just say, okay, I need to make up a legal document that can help me win this court date. Well, here it is. Right there. The AI is just going to go, okay, I'm going to make some things that literally sound like they exist, and that will help, like, the plaintiff out. But in reality, that might be detrimental, because the opposing team is saying, dude, those kind of things don't freaking exist. And that would just probably throw the entire case out. Like, literally, AI is already dangerous enough when we're trying to figure out. Like I said, autocorrecting should remain as it is. Autocorrecting. Everything else after that should be is basically by human stuff. All right, that's what I'm saying. Back on topic before my brain starts exploding.
The law firm said, quote, "Our internal artificial intelligence platform hallucinated
really?
cases in question while assisting the attorney in drafting the motion in Lemine. This matter comes with great embarrassment.
I bet.
Discussion and action regarding the training, implementation, and future use of artificial intelligence within our firm."
Like I said, you should not. That kind of thing should not be in there. Should not be in there. Human, like I said before, perfection is key in certain areas. Like for example, lawyers. As I said before, if you want to make sure your things are running smoothly, and running smoothly like this is the kind of thing that you need to be perfect at. I like I said, imperfection exists, but you need to be perfect in this one. You cannot let something happen. These are the kind of things you cannot be let something bad happen to this. I mean, this is just document. Think about AI doing it in something dangerous. For example, for like traffic. Think of that. If you're expecting AI to do that, I mean, it's simple, but expecting AI to do this, like, oh yeah, well, I'm gonna change this because it's much more efficient, and then all of a sudden you get like people crashing everywhere. I'm just saying. I mean, right now, this kind of thing is like not bad, but like I said, artificial intelligence should be kept out in certain areas. Humans need to remain in these areas. Artificial intelligence is too infant. It's too like even in its infancy to even be in this situation. And even then, I highly doubt we'll need anyway. Like I said, I think we should keep it out in certain. I'm gonna say this. I think we should keep it in certain parts of the workforce. Like for example, manual labor. Like for example, if you're taking an order in food, like in drive-thru, like the person orders, you type it all in, and the AI was paying attention, hearing all the orders to make sure, okay, and then you say, okay, and then you confirm it, and say, wait, and the AI said, wait, hold up, this isn't what he ordered, double check it again at the window, double check it, and see if it is. Okay, I'm going to repeat all this order back, and it says, no, you're missing one item. The AI stopped you from making that mistake. I think that will be great in the workforce for fast food, because the AI stops you, it was paying attention for you. Now, I'm sure that you could say this, oh, it's bad there, but I think but like I said before, in the workplace, that should be there. Outside of, once you get out, you gotta think on your own. You gotta think on your own. But like I said, because like I said, at this point, workplaces are asking for perfection on all across the boards. I don't know why, but if that's what they're planning to do, then this is the kind of thing this kind of AI they need to think. Just to listen in, to make sure you're doing things correct, and then let you know this. Wait, hold on. Something doesn't seem right here. Make sure you let them know that if this is the correct order. All right? There you go. And then let us delete the items if it's wrong. Or let us freaking add an item. Because it's idiot. Oh, no, I can still add items because you can't delete it once it's on there. But still. Well, you can delete them after you order it. After you totally order, and then you can delete that one. It's confusing. That's what I think. Maybe you guys have something better in mind, but this is what I think. Continue on.
This serves as a cautionary tale for our firm and all firms as we enter this new age of artificial intelligence. End quote. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And people instinctively making the argument that this won't be a problem.
Oh, my butt.
AI is good enough.
My butt.
Might have a point. Maybe it won't be a problem. But think of it this way. That's a lawyer, supposedly one of the smartest professions on earth, if you ask everyday people.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lawyer who was having the AI do their work for them. You can pontificate all you want about how much better society will become as we perfect these types of tools and the efficiency it involves. But all I see is idiocracy being born in real time.
Oh, yeah.
Because human beings are not thinking anymore.
Oh, no, we're not thinking.
What do we suppose happens as automation and progressively smarter algorithms replace or eliminate more and more and more of the adverse situations that we might ever encounter, up to and including even peer-to-peer socialization? What do we think happens
that kind of
when
thing
the
needs to be
consolidation of
kept
our
out of
economy
AI
centers more and more on a few absurdly wealthy conglomerates whose entire business model now relies on increasingly invasive advertising? What do we think happens when we construct tools that literally tell us every minute of every day where to walk, what to order, how to dress, or how to think? And how much different does that really look when compared to a movie like Idiocracy? Sure, I could drag the video on a lot longer with more comparisons, like how Wipeout, the game show, is effectively the same thing as Ow My Balls, or how when Joe and Rita attempt to escape in a car, there's a kill switch shutting down its battery. Contained in the enormous Infrastructure and Jobs Act, which was passed during the Biden administration recently, Section 24220, there's a mandate for systems that will, quote, passively monitor the performance of a driver of a motor vehicle to accurately identify whether that driver may be impaired and prevent or limit motor vehicle operation if an impairment is detected, end quote. Which is literally a kill switch for a car, regardless of why you say you put it in there. And the fact checkers all said, false, there's no kill switch mandate, which is bullshit. But setting all of that aside, looking past the comedic exaggerations as well, we are becoming Idiocracy. As time goes on, more and more, under the profiteering pressure of major corporations, which was the entire point of Idiocracy, more than likely resulting in its outright suppression at the box office, by the way, because it depicted certain brands in that way, which is hilarious. We are subverting our own ability to think critically, solve problems, and to better ourselves. We rely more and more every day on simplified tools which do increasing amounts of our thinking for us. And the end result is atrophy of social and mental muscles.
Brain gone.
To exercise constantly every single day, which pushes us closer and closer
play like video games every once in a while.
Incoherent morons of a decades-old movie, which was never intended to be a blueprint. It was intended to be an absurd comedy. In the end, I think
it isn't.
Collectively, as in society, are steadily marching down the road of becoming Idiocracy. It just won't be nearly as funny. A lot of people probably don't see it that way, which is fine.
I'd rather have an AI uprising
for different reasons than in the film. But I find that movie to be disconcertingly prophetic and uncomfortably accurate when you take a step back and realize it's been 19 years since they made it.
Wait.
What do we really think the world is going to be like in
Steel?
That's it. If you want to support the channel, check out the links down below. The video sponsor, of course, Ground News.
What's up?
Do consider locals and Patreon, please. I need to start pushing these platforms more.
Okay.
Right? And get away from like just regular YouTube ads.
Okay. Well, I'm going to leave it there. Okay, because I don't want an ad popping up at the end of the video. Amazing, there wasn't an ad throughout this entire video. Huh. Besides him producing that. But yeah, that's about it. Let me know what you think about comments. Do you think we're heading into this kind of future where basically we're all like dumb idiots at the end and then we're all just thinking through machines? Because actually, now that I think, but this reminds me of that Camp Laszlo episode where, what was his name? The elephant Raj literally let everything do it instead, like grab so many machineries to basically do everything for him to the point where his body's like stringy body parts to all the way to the end where his brain, where he needed some sort of, what was it called? Some sort of brain device to help him think of a solution to help him save his arms and legs, but then he became a baby. Huh. Like, look up Camp Laszlo episode. That's literally what it is also like. Huh. Whatever. Tell me, what you think about this episode? It's pretty interesting. Like I said before, I don't have a problem with AI, depending how you use it. But I think we should keep I make no sense anyway. So if you're thinking I don't make any sense, I make no sense. Too bad for you. This is my channel. I can make no sense whatever I want. But like I said, let me know in the comments what you think about this. I think we should keep autocorrect at where it is now, where we autocorrect words and autocorrect sentences, and that's it. Not to give us whole other sentences. I thought it was a good idea until I realized, now after seeing this, that makes no sense. But yeah, I think we should just keep autocorrecting as it is now, alright? And also, keep the AI out of anywhere that requires you to be absolutely perfect. Sorry, food's coming back up. And also, we need to keep AI out of jobs that requires you to be absolutely perfect. So basically, for example, the law firms, that does not need any AI because, like I said, AI is still in its infancy, and I highly doubt it's gonna be prepared to be able to do anything until who knows how long in the future. By then, we probably would have had an AI uprising by that time. But either way, like I said, heart, steel. As I was saying, what was I talking about again? Also, keep them out of that because, like I said before, if you want to win a court case, the AI would just make up a lot of things just to help you win the court case. I mean, seriously. I mean, we need to keep those out of there. And also, but put them in like labor areas. When I say labor, I mean to help you get the orders up, because, like I said, labor areas require you to be absolutely perfect. For example, fast food restaurants, that requires you to be absolutely perfect. You can't, like I said before, you can't delete anything, because if you delete anything, they're gonna be talked down to it and say, hey, you can't have that many deletions. Yeah, there's a quota of deletions there. Oh, you need to be out. You need to get these cars out in a matter of 15 seconds, dude. I'm not that capable. I can only do 30 seconds at a time. Do 30 seconds at a time at best. Even then, 45. Even then, 45. Oh wait, no, my record is 75, depending how slow it is. 75 seconds. I suck at drive. I don't know why they put me there, but yeah. But like I said, they should put it like what I described before. They should put the AI where they would listen in on the orders of the customer and say, hey, and then after that, when you say okay before, and when you press done, the AI would say, hey, hold up, wait for it, and say, hold up, you're missing some items here, and also this is not what he ordered, so make sure you double check again, and then you go back on the thing and say, okay, hey, I'm gonna repeat this order back to you to make sure, did you order this, there, and then you're good, and you say, yeah, that's the correct order, and then okay, the AI say, okay, I might have made a mistake, and then there you go. It makes mistakes, you make mistakes, either way, doesn't matter, and then after that, you can push them forward. That's it. I think that's basically how it is. That should be. Just the AI listening in and just helping you out. Not like automatically take over the job. That's just me. Either way, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know in the comments what you enjoyed. Did you enjoy this episode? What do you think about this thing? And do you think we're headed into the Idiocracy realm? Or do you think that we're not? Or this is all just tomfoolery? Or do you think, yes, it's kind of bad? Let me know in the comments. Also, I will leave a link down below for you guys to watch it by yourselves without me and my beautiful voice. And yeah, that's all. And for right now, hope you enjoyed today's video. Comment, subscribe down below to join my dark army. I mean, seriously, come on. Seriously, did you know that joining my dark army will actually help your brain increase in size and help you think smarter? I mean, yeah, that would actually just join my army. Come on, you should know this. And plus, I'm your dark ruler, so you have no other choice but to do it anyway. So it's a win-win. You have no choice but to join, and your brain gets smarter. Isn't that great for you guys? That's good. Also, like and share the video to help spread my influence around. Take that as you will. Don't mind that word skip there. And also, don't forget to press the black bell button to be notified when my videos pop up. Because you know how basic YouTube channel is. She doesn't bother with my channel. She doesn't bother letting you guys know. I don't know why she does it. So yeah, that's about it. And for right now, my dark smart minions dismissed.